Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports. Pakistan versus New Zealand. New Zealand have beaten Pakistan by a heavy margin of 46 runs in the first T20 International, the 5-match series at Auckland. Shaheen Shah Afridi, of course, won the toss, opted to bowl first, and New Zealand were absolutely brilliant. You just talk about the class of Kane Williamson. Effortless, majestic shots. You know, if there was ever somebody who was keeping textbook cricket alive, it had to be Kane Williamson. So he realized his potential, that his role in the team, and I think role defining has been brilliant from New Zealand. We talk about many teams in the world, but we've got to take a leaf out of New Zealand's book of role defining. They knew that they want Finn Allen to just go after everything, regardless of his wicket. That's what he did, a quick fire knock that really helped their cause. Kane Williamson's role was to stay in there and occupy the crease as much as he can, while Daryl Mitchell played a brilliant knock of a strike rate of more than 220 runs to make sure that Williamson is also compensated. So I think all in all, it was a great performance from New Zealand. They truly deserve to win. We can talk about the bowling as well. 3 wickets each for Abbas Afridi and Shaheen Shah Afridi. But for me, the pick of the bowlers was Abbas Afridi. The right length, the right variation, something that you need in T20 modern day cricket. And he realized it. Had that catch been taken by Babar Azam when Williamson was on 9, maybe things would have been different. But all that doesn't matter. But like I said, that it's a 5-match T20 series. So we, instead of being too harsh, we probably need to discuss things in a very calculated manner and then hope what we can do. Because the fact is that when you've got people who are performing, just play them. That's what they did with Abbas Afridi. That's what they should have done with Sahibzada Farhan. Because if you move on to game number 2 and 3, then you might not have a chance for certain of these players to play. So we'll talk about that in detail. The captaincy, the choices. New Zealand were brilliant, like I said. Pakistan's batting in vain. Only Babar Azam, the notable performer there as well. 57 runs, and that too at a strike rate of above 160. So that's something that has helped his cause. He probably needed those runs but couldn't finish the game. His dismissal as well, I just personally thought maybe if he was trying to aim down the ground with a drive or through the extra cover, he would have gotten a 4 anyway, and that shot was also for a 4, but that wicket fell at a very crucial time. But you can't blame him, can you? Then again, 2 overs we didn't play. That hurts me the most, because even if you want to lose a game, at least play your quota of overs. So that's going to be on the discussion table. Time now to introduce our guest. First of all, joining us is cricket commentator, a broadcaster, presenter, and our sports expert, K. Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, Ahmed. I'm very well, thank you.
We've also been joined by a cricket expert and analyst, and of course, like I said, that you want to talk about certain aspects of the game with which this gentleman can analyze better than many of us. Rizwan Haider joins us. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmed.
Great to have you on the show. We've also been joined by senior sports journalist Syed Haider. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Great to have you as well. Now, let's take a look at the match report, of course, as well in this summary that we're going to be talking about as well. Let's just give you a highlight of the action and then we come back.
New Zealand defeated Pakistan by 46 runs in the first T20 match of 5-match series in Auckland. Pakistan were in the game for the most part of the chase, but Kiwis held their nerves to emerge on top. Earlier, Pakistan skipper Shaheen Shah Afridi won the toss and elected to bowl first in his first assignment as captain against New Zealand. Kiwis powered to 226 runs for the loss of 8 wickets in 20 overs, as the Green Caps conceded the highest score against them in a T20 international. For New Zealand, Daryl Mitchell and captain Kane Williamson scored explosive half-centuries as the home side took advantage of the short Eden Park boundaries. Finn Allen made 34 and Mark Chapman hit quick 25 runs. Shaheen Shah Afridi, who provided an excellent start with a wicket in the first over, failed to capitalize on that.
First ball, Conway's gone! Shaheen Shah Afridi as skipper strikes in Pakistan. Make the first blow here at Eden Park.
Debutant Abbas Afridi and Shaheen Shah Afridi picked 3 wickets each for Pakistan.
Should be out, this should be out, is out. It's in there, that might be out. It is out, he's holed out. It's off the toe. Off the toe. Taken this time, Babar Azam.
While Haris Rauf claimed 2 wickets. Chasing a target of 227 runs, the Pakistan team bowled out for 180 runs in 18 overs. Despite a brilliant start provided by Saim Ayub, remarkable knock as the left-handed batter scored 27 of just 8 balls.
Oh, straight up. That's got plenty on it and should land safely. In fact, it's gone for 6. Stop it.
The green shirts crumbled in their chase. Babar Azam remained the top scorer with 57 runs. Pakistani star batter Babar Azam has completed 3,500 runs in T20 format and has become the top scorer for Pakistan in T20s. Babar Azam has now become the fourth batsman overall to complete 3,500 runs in T20 after Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma and Martin Guptill. Mohammad Rizwan made 25 and Iftikhar Ahmed scored 24 runs. For New Zealand, Team Saudi, who completed 150 T20 wickets, picked 4 wickets while Adam Milne and Ben Sears got 2 wickets. Darren Mitchell declared player of the match for his outstanding batting. The second match of 5-match series will be played on January 14.
And there you have it. That report by Sabah details the highlights of the game. And now to discuss things further with the analysis. Sir Haider, let's start off with you now. Pakistan would have felt going into this game that they needed to have the upper hand. And obviously when you win the toss up to bowl first, take a wicket in the very first over, you need to capitalize on the situation. But clearly planning execution is something that was not there.
Ahmed, I would say, in my opinion, to decide the ball first after winning the toss, it was wrong decision. I think if it's a batting track, very flat and very good batting track, then you have to go and bat and make a good target for the opponent. In the second inning, to chase is always difficult, not only for the Pakistan, but for all teams, it's always difficult. But I can understand why the Pakistan has not decided to bat first. If Pakistan would have batted first, then they could get easily 200 or near to 200. And then it could be difficult for the New Zealand team. But in this case, now they have decided to bowl first. They have got a wicket. But after then, they have played very well. The New Zealanders, they knew that this is their own home ground. And they knew that how to manage a good score on this Eden Park wicket. So I think in the beginning, Pakistan did a mistake. And this mistake has give more boost in the inning, in the bowling, in the batting, both of together. But after the feeling in the batting, Pakistan batters, they were trying to get the runs, but they were trying to get to save the wicket only, to get some runs on the board by which they can show that they have got the runs in the batting. This is the wrong strategy. If you see the New Zealand batting, everyone he was trying to get more and more runs in short overs. But the Pakistan batting side, if you see that Rizwan and Babar and other batters, they were only trying to save the wicket. So this is the wrong strategy. I think first to go for the first bowling and then in the batting not go for the hard hitting. That was the problem in the planning, and then they have lost the match. I think this is the scenario what can we see here.
Asif, do you also agree with first of all the decision, and then obviously proceeding into the game, like I said, that the execution and the planning was probably not there, that you didn't realize what kind of length your bowlers need to be hitting, because once you mention yourself as a skipper that square of the wicket boundaries are decent, on both sides at the front they are a bit shorter. So you need to realize that you must make the batsman play as much square as he can.
First of all, I agree with Haider bhai, the way Shaheen Shah Afridi won the toss and he has opted to bowl first. That wasn't a good decision. And we had enough discussion about this, that Pakistanis, they're not good in chasing. And you're putting pressure on your batters, and young batters like Saim Ayub, who was phenomenal today. Secondly, you're asking about the execution of the plan. Let me ask you this question. Was there any plan against Darrell Mitchell? You know that he's so good with in the V, he does play in on the long on, long off area and mid-wicket area. And the way bowlers were bowling, they were bowling just length deliveries. Nobody was bowling short pitch deliveries, good Yorkers. So I think that the plan was missing from the think tank. And I have watched a press conference of Umar Gul, and he said that we had given a plan to our bowlers that should go up and try to hit hard areas. So I think that if the bowlers, they heard this suggestion and advice from the bowling coach, but even then if they didn't execute that plan, it means that we were not ready, we were mentally not fit the way New Zealand batters were playing, especially I will talk about Daryl Mitchell, every bowler were nerveless. They didn't know that how to bowl against Daryl Mitchell. And luckily I met Rizwan Bhai right before the show, and Rizwan Bhai said that, you know that he's a very good with the straight bat, then why you are coming up with the length deliveries, why you are not coming up with the variations? 27 on 61 on 27 deliveries was the big difference, I think. And rest, Pakistan once again was poor in the fielding as well. Azam Khan wasn't okay behind the stumps. He wasn't active there. Even Rizwan was struggling. I understand that very first time he's in international cricket, first or second time he's standing in the he was standing in the field. But even then, you should be up to the mark because it's an international game.
Well, it's going to take some time, I understand, for the skipper to realize that, franchise and an international is a bit different when it comes to captaincy. So, you can have the luxury of being a shrewd captain in franchise cricket, but I think their majority in the middle overs, he had the luxury of somebody like Rashid Khan or somebody like Zaman Khan who could always contain. But right now, I think the bowling attack he went with today, we probably were spoiled for choice. We didn't have a spinner, let's be honest. Usama Mir was a injury replacement for Shadab Khan. But then again, like I said, the length was very important at which our bowlers bowled. Rizwan, how would you analyze this entire scenario?
Well, first of all, I think let's analyze the toss. Pakistan over the last 2.5 years has always been comfortable chasing, but for the chase they need a window of about 160 to 170, 75 runs, where Rizwan and Babar open the innings and chase successfully. And they've always looked, I've always felt that they look clueless batting first. They don't know how much to score, what total to put on. They take about 5 to 6 overs to realize how good or bad the pitch is and what should be a good total on that. And that's the reason they always try and bat second. If you look at the record of the last 50 times Pakistan has won the toss, I think more than 40 times they have decided to bat second and chase. And every time when the bowlers have gotten the wickets and you've put them under the other team under 160, 180, Pakistan has been very, very successful. But for the World Cup, I don't mind if they win the toss and chase in every game, but these are the matches where you plan, where you do strategy, and where you devise a plan for the future. What if you lose the toss? Pakistan lost the T20 World Cup finals every time they were asked to bat first when losing the toss, because toss is a 50-50 thing. So for me, I would rather Pakistan win the toss every game and bat first and try and put on a total. And then after, when we reach the World Cup, then we decide that if we win the toss, we can bat first or bat second, whatever is good for the team. But because every time we do the same thing, if you remember the England series T20 before the World Cup, 7 matches, I think Pakistan won the toss in 4 of them and decided to chase. England won the toss in the other 3, and only in one of those Pakistan was able to bat first. And we were clueless in that because Babar, I feel, is a very, very competent batsman, but he's not up there for getting 120, 100 or anything over 140 on a regular basis as a strike rate. So for me, I think we lack here that we don't plan. We don't plan for contingency. We don't plan for the World Cup. We're just playing, just win this game. It's not about this game or the next game or the series. India hasn't played Virat Kohli in the current series against Afghanistan. They're not playing KL Rahul in the current series against Afghanistan. Why are we playing with our best combinations? Why aren't we giving chances to Saibzada Farhan? And even with 13 players, Pakistan could not win. 10 and 3 Azam Khans. We were not able to win successfully. So it's unfair it was not even an even match for me.
Well, I think, that is something that we need to really explore where it comes to the planning, execution, and believing that data has got a lot to do with it when you analyze certain players, who you plan against and everything. Sir Haider, like I said, it's the first match. They still have 4 more to go. But Rizwan mentions a brilliant point that this is the time where you can make amends, try a couple of players and not worry about the results. But obviously that can only happen, that has happened with other teams. But what they do is then they bench their entire squad and take a completely new contingent to tours like these.
Yeah, absolutely right. Rizwan is saying absolutely right that we have to apply our new young batters and bowlers in these matches, because it is only the series, and after then England series, then you will go into the World Cup. So you have to get a really good, strong team. But if you are applying Fakhar Zaman at number 4, then I can see what is your strategy, because it means that you don't have any batter in your middle order. Cricket is a game of the classification. Everything is in classes. Openers, they can play in the opening slot. The middle order, they can play in middle order. If Fakhar Zaman, he's a like batter, he can batter in the opening slot, but you are employing him in the middle order. It means that first thing, that you don't have any batter in your middle order, and secondly, you are actually you have only the Fakhar Zaman. He must be in the side. So this is the wrongest strategy of Pakistan team. Pakistan should carry someone in the middle order. They are really middle order batsmen, and they should play at number 4, number 5 batters. Then we have seen today that Shaheen Shah Afridi, he has got promoted his number at number 7. Instead of that, Amir Jamal, he's in the side. He has played very well in Australia, and he's in a good form, good touch. He could be better at number 7, but Shaheen Shah Afridi, he's the captain. He has decided to come at number 7. It means that you are confused in your batting. And a bowler, always, when a bowler is the captain, then he will be always wrong in getting the right number of batting orders. This is the problem that Shaheen Shah Afridi should learn. That in the past we have seen Wasim Akram or Waqar Yunus, like the fast bowlers, when they were the captain, they have done also same mistake. They have changed the batting order and they got some bad results. So today, and after this match, 4 matches in New Zealand, we can apply Sahab Farhan or Hasibullah. He is a good batter. He can play in the middle order. We have to get them, all the players there on the bench, and we have to see which batter will be a batter in the T20 World Cup. Otherwise, if you will go with the same side, then you don't need to carry the youngsters and go with the Fakhar Zaman and Rizwan and all the old players, and then play there. And don't make any argument that Wahab Riaz, he's making always the argument that we are giving chances to the youngsters, but only touring and enjoying the tour and flights and hotels only, then this is not really right for the Pakistan cricket.
I completely understand. And I think, Asif, a very important argument that comes to mind is that for the past couple of T20s now, I mean, if you look at the past 1 year, then majority of our dismissals have come when we have tried to hit a 6. I was told by a former test cricketer today that the problem is that from over number 7 onwards all the way to over number 11 or 13, 14, our ratio of rotating the strike or, just occupying the wicket and scoring runs is terrible. Because what we've done is we've only tried to hit 6s, if I be very, very, on terms of a layman, that we've tried to go after 6s and we've lost our wickets. What New Zealand was doing, Daryl Mitchell would hit a 4, take a single. Williamson would come, hit a 4, take a single. So that ratio was brilliant between them.
Well, of course, that in white ball cricket, it's not about that you're hitting 6s, or boundaries all the time, rotating the strike is really important. As you said, that the way Kane Williamson scoring a boundary and then coming up with a 1 or 2, same with the Daryl Mitchell. And that's why they were able to manage a very good total above 200. And Pakistan, when you have taken a wrong decision in the start of the match, is Rizwan Bhai was clearly said, and really good analysis by him, that what happened in the last 2 years or 2.5 years, you guys were up to the chase. But now change your strategy, come up with new mindset, because you were a new skipper and some new players as well. See, while Saim Ayub, the way he was playing, if you see his shot selection was brilliant. And only the one thing, that was the experience. And he was taking a sharp single, which actually on that time, that was a risky. And I think that he will definitely learn with the passage of time, because the way he hit against Tim Saudi, a pull shot, and then Henry over the extra cover, everything was perfect. His stance, his timing, everything was brilliant. And the last 6 over the final leg, that was his, that he always tried to improvise. And Fakhar Zaman, if you see his last 5 innings in the, white ball cricket, he's struggling. why we are not discussing that no more Fakhar Zaman, give him some rest. Yes, in the World Cup, that apart from one innings against New Zealand, in the that was good, but rest, if you see his performances, I think that not he's coming up with the consistency, and that's the problem. And that's why with the question which you asked me, that from over number 7 to 13, 14, we're just trying to hit boundaries. Fakhar Zaman is not a batter like who could go for the singles and twos. He always come up with his strength, and that is to play over the mid wicket. Whenever you come up with a good line of length, the way Ishodi bowled, it was a soft dismissal. And a very crucial time when we want Fakhar Zaman to do something special for Pakistan, he lost his wicket in a very ordinary manners. So I think Fakhar Zaman, and I will definitely talk about Azam Khan, I think it's premature, but I'm quite sure that he is not an international stuff so far. Maybe in future he will improve himself.
Asif, I'm tempted to ask you that the problem still remains. Let's say, if hypothetically he plays the series and then he's not in the plans, that number 6 position becomes very, very important for Pakistan. How are they going to fill that?
See, you are bringing, this is what we were discussing last night as well, that who is going to bat on number 6. Iftikhar, once again, if he was really sloppy in the fielding, he dropped catches. He was not even in good touch in the fielding, to be very honest. On number 6 position, I think that you require a batter, an all-rounder like Abdul Razak, and we're still struggling hard. Abdul Razak was so good in the death overs, and I do remember that the way he finishes the game. And if you ask me, the number 6 position, to be very honest, I want to see Hasib on that position. Though he's an opening batter, but still we have Rizwan, we have Saim Ayub, Babar Azam on number 3, then number 4 Fakhar Zaman, number 5 Iftikhar, Azam Khan on number 6. He's a power hitter, but maybe you could give him some more chances and he can improve himself.
Well, I think, like I said, you have to be in awe of the execution and planning of this New Zealand side, Rizwan. I understand that they might not have as many trophies as other teams in the realm of the ICC, but the fact is their consistency is something. Kane Williamson at number 3 with a strike rate of 128. His role is defined that he's got to take the inning forward. Conway, Finn Allen have to go after everything even if they lose the wicket. But even if Williamson is settling in, takes a couple of deliveries to settle in. On the other hand, Daryl Mitchell comes up, accelerates and balances the equation. But even Daryl Mitchell gives himself a couple of deliveries and singles just to take a feel of the innings.
I think you're absolutely right. They've always been very good at planning and execution. And that's the reason, I mean, if Pakistan had Rachin Ravindra playing so well in the World Cup, he would have been opening the innings for the T20s. But New Zealand, he's not in their plans. That is called bench strength, isn't it? Because they know that he's not fit for that. Maybe in 2 years' time he'll develop, but I mean, he was just part of the World Cup. He was the best performer in the World Cup, but he's nowhere to be seen in the T20 scheme of things. Similarly, I mean, you have to have plans for everything. They have a plan. They know Williamson is there to stick around, and everybody bats around him. Today, even if you look at the scorecard, Conway got out early, but Finlay and Finn Allen, Daryl Mitchell, Glenn Phillips, everybody had a strike rate of 160, 170 because they were going after the runs. The runs kept on going. 225 is not an easy score to get to begin with.
The second best score in this ground, though.
In this ground. Yes. So it just shows that it requires application. And considering the population and the pool of players that New Zealand has, they've got about 75 first-class teams, about 80, 85 first-class players who play regularly. And to come up with a good competitive team for T20s, for one-day internationals, and even Test match cricket, because they played the first they were the first World Test Championship winners.
Right. We're going to come back to this entire argument, and I will also chip in with something that was very interesting, but right after this short break. Stay tuned. And welcome back to Sports Extra. Sir, either we can talk about many avenues and many plannings and executions, but there's still 4 T20s to go now. I was just judging the wicket and the kind of cricket that was being played, and my heart really felt for the likes of Mohammad Haris, because this was the prime position and the grounds where you would have a candidate like him who's got the range of shots down the ground that you look to see, something that Finn Allen was doing brilliantly, what Daryl Mitchell was doing brilliantly, somebody who can even hit that slower delivery, flat trajectory for a six down the track.
Absolutely, Mohammad Haris, he could be very well for these type of the pitches because he slashes, he flashes, and he plays square of the wicket nicely. Instead of Mohammad Arif, we have opted Azam Khan. If you see Azam Khan, if you rewind today's match, you can see at least 10 runs we have lost due to Azam Khan, because on the mountain, other batters they could get 2 runs easily, but Babar Azam and Azam Khan, they have got only 1 runs because Azam Khan, he cannot run quickly. That's a problem. If you are taking Azam Khan only due to hard hitting, then Haris is the same. He can hit also very hard, and he is a good hard hitter in our domestic system in PSL and T20s. Haris is always better than Azam Khan. I don't know why the Wahab Riaz has decided for the Azam Khan instead of Mohammad Haris, but Haris will be also good on the pitches in England and also in T20 World Cup in US and West Indies. But Azam Khan, even though he's playing Caribbean League, but I think Azam Khan will not be suitable for such type of the pitches in West Indies. Now, the question is that why they are not opting Haris. I think the reason is that first Azam Khan and secondly Hasibullah, because Hasibullah is also wicketkeeper and regular wicketkeeper Mohammad Rizwan is also there. I think in third or fourth match, Rizwan will back into the wicket keeping, and someone will come instead of in place of Azam Khan. But Haris, he should be in the side. In my side, if I would be selected, I will pick up Mohammad Haris.
Probably, and I think that is an argument that is completely, I think, identified, that Haris definitely needs to be in the side. Asif, we don't have a spinner. Let me just be very directly right now. We don't have a spinner. Even if Shadab gets fit for the World Cup, then he's got to improve on his skill level, which has been dropping as a bowler. As a batter, as a fielder, he can obviously suffice, but you need a genuine spinner over here for those middle overs.
Yes, of course, it's a very valid question, and you should ask this question to the chief selector and the selection committee, that why we're not producing good spinner. Last night, the same debate was going on that Osama Mir, he comes up with a flight. It's a good idea, but on these kind of pitches and in these grounds, if you're coming up with the same strategy, 2 flighted deliveries, and then you're bowling towards down the leg side, how easily Daryl Mitchell was playing to him. 2 sixes over the bowler's head and then a quick delivery on the leg side, and he timed towards fine leg. So I think that we require a good spinner. Why we're not using Abrar? Yes, of course, we have 4 more games. Maybe we could come up with that idea that Abrar is still sitting on the bench and give him some chances. He was in the World Cup, though he was in extras. But I think it's a very genuine question, and hardly you were taking some name last night that who could be our choice in the future in terms of spin bowling.
No, so only spinner that we saw taking wickets was Arif Yaqub. That's it.
Yes.
And he too is a leg spinner.
He's too a leg spinner, and then we don't have an off spinner, a genuine off spinner who could bowl Dusra. Of course, there are some limitations. The ICC have limited the options because you cannot bowl Dusra just with this angle. You'd have to come up to bowl Dusra with the straight arm. So I think you could bring back Clan Mushtaq.
Well, I wish the pages of time could turn back. All of us want that, don't we? But Rizwan, this topic really haunts me. Out of everything that happens in Pakistan cricket, I'll be honest, this not having a spinner really haunts me.
I think what a sad day for Pakistan cricket when you don't have a decent leg spinner, you don't have a decent off spinner, you don't have a decent left arm spinner, you don't have a spinner for test format, which is a completely different format and a different kind of spinner is required. You don't have a decent spinner for one-day format, and you don't have a decent spinner for T20 format, where containing the runs is important. Similarly, you don't have a fast bowler other than Haris Rauf, who's bowling at 140 or anything near 150. I think probably we're going to see a team of Pakistani T20 team which will have 4 or 5 wicket-keeping batsmen, because Rizwan is there, Haris is there, Hasibullah is there, Azam Khan is there. It's just I mean, we haven't got a decent middle order batsman. There's another area where we're lacking. And I think the point we were discussing before the break, definition of aggressiveness. We were saying that we don't get enough quick runs and quick singles. I think the Pakistani team management needs to understand what is the definition of aggressive cricket. Was Javed Miandad noted for hitting 4s or 6s? No, he was noted, he was aggressive because of his playing in the gaps and running very, very aggressively.
Even Saeed Anwar.
He made running between the wickets important and aggressive in test match cricket, not just one internationals.
And Rizwan bhai, game awareness.
Game awareness, exactly. Michael Bevan made it important as what running between the wickets and quick singles and rotation of the strike means. Our bowlers, our batsmen do not understand that. You have to make sure that they understand it in the first class cricket, in one internationals, in test matches. It is important because rotating the strike means that you are making sure that the bowler doesn't understand what length to bowl at, because every ball is going to bowl to a different, either you hit him for a 4, you block, or you take a single. So in T20 it's very, very important to take singles, and we don't understand that, and that's the reason we're always 130 about 30-40 runs.
I can talk about so many players. Hashim Amla was one of them. He was magnificent in his innings, the construction,
and he was another one who could hit boundaries at will.
I think not everybody can become a Chris Gayle or AB de Villiers, though. You need to keep your capacity in check as well. So for example, if there is any individual, they would realize that this is my strength, I'll play to that as well. But obviously, like I said, 4 more T20s to go. The second one takes place on the 14th on Sunday. Hopefully Pakistan makes a comeback. We're the king of comeback, we know that already. So hopefully we can get there as well. But Rizwan, K. Asif and Syed Haider, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. That wraps up Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.